Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're most welcome to our last game of the day. The weather is clear, the sun is out, and we are ready to roll. Our last game, of course, this is a game between KVC Volleyball Club and, of course, Prisons, a team from Luzira. And our first game already is done. UPDF, the women's team, was victorious against, of course, KVC, the ladies team. We are here, we are ready, of course, to take you through this game, and I'm not alone. I'm joined by Gaba, my man, Eliab, to take you through this encounter. Gaba, you're most welcome to the commentary booth, and we're happy to have you.
Well, glad to be here. Let's wait and see what this game brings to us.
Yeah, and of course, the two sides looking at KVC. KVC is a team which is coming, of course, with a lot of energy and momentum following their victories over the previous weekend when they played UCU. They were victorious in that game with a 3-0 set score against UCU, and of course also playing Police the previous day. They also won that game 3-1. And now looking at the side of Prisons, they are quite really struggling in this first round, and you can really see that in the log. They are seated at the second last spot, number 9, with only 3 points after playing 7 games. And KVC is seated at number 6, 9 points after playing 6 games. And of course, you can see really the two teams are all vying for maximum points this evening. And of course, I had a conversation with one of the players of KVC, and he was like, this game really does matter to them, and in case they really get the 3 points, they will be good to go. But both teams are on. You can really see on your screen there, Prisons donning yellow and black shorts. They are going up against KVC, usually, of course, putting on that red jersey.
Well, if you have to look at both teams, I think each of them has not performed according to what they had expected this season. Prisons, having come from Serie B as champions, you would have expected that they would be playing at least to stay in Serie A, which they are very far from achieving at the moment. KVC, semi-finals, then finals last season, you would expect that they would be vying for the top spot this season. They are also far from that target, and I think each one of them will be fighting for this game. It is a game to turn around what is at this moment a bad season for them.
Yeah, and of course the game is already underway, and that was the first score for KVC, and it comes from Bernard, the youngster from, of course, he's in high school as we speak. He just comes to play the game, and of course you can really see that both teams are already opening up on the attacks. That's a very good swing, of course, from Hussein there, Ojema, for Prisons. The game has started quite, of course, point on point, but you can expect anything from this encounter. You can see KVC there today have started the setter there, Crispus. Rukundo is stepping in for Onapa. In that opposite role, we have Ayo receiving with the Mwenyi. Then, of course, in the middle, as usual, You see Bernard there is going to be playing alongside Chris, the man who is, of course, with the height, and the libero there, Kasuja. And Prisons is starting, of course, their setter Adiri is playing opposite Wafla there. We see Ojema, and of course the captain there, Solo, is also in that position and reception together with, of course, the center players, of course, there. But Prisons already leading 2.1, and you can see that's already service error number 1 from their setter Adiri.
From the look of things, I think the only surprise coming from the lineups, I think, is Onapa starting on bench for KVC. It's not something you'd expect, especially after people have already told you we want this game, but let's wait and see what happens. That's an overreach and a point for KVC.
But of course, looking at the previous games KVC has played, Rukundo Smith has really stepped up in terms of playing in that role. That Onapa has really been the person to look at. You can really recall back when they're playing KCCA in the arena there. Of course, when they had lost the sets there, the first 2 sets, they stepped up when Rukundo stepped in to play in that position for Napa, and of course he was able to carry the team to the decider. Unfortunately, he lost that game there, and since then this gentleman Rukundo Smith has really been key player in terms of playing in that position for KVC.
Well, it is a very challenging choice for the coach, especially given the quality of Onapa having to sit him out, but we are going to have to wait and see how it unfolds during the game.
Yeah, and of course I want to say thank you to each and everyone who is joining us online. As usual, you can always send in your feedback, your comments, and of course your prediction in terms of this game here. And you can really see that Prisons has already closed in on the gap that KVC was trying to set up here. Very good play from, of course, the middle player Omusana there. Kundo Smith is brought down by Solomon there, combining with Omusana. Already we see some people with your comments. Adam Koko, you're there. Mulinde, Adam, we see you. Prisons Volleyball Club, you're also there. You're welcome. And of course, Apple, God's Eye as well. You're already tuned in and you're really following the game.
Points are still ups, but the teams have not yet shown that aggressiveness so far. Are still playing at a very low intensity.
Very, very smart play from Ayo. And of course, Crispas is going to keep putting that ball in the middle there for Pipe. And you can see Ayo is the only one who is really in that position to take that ball. But no swing yet from him in that position. And as well, he's going to keep involving Rukundo. And that's a very good service from, of course, the youngster Bernard, checking on Solomon, the captain of Prisons there. But of course, looking at the side of Prisons as well, we see that the opposite player, the young opposite player, Ate, has not started as well. And of course, we have there Wafula in that position. And of course, that's a service error from Bernard, the youngster for KVC there.
Well, 6 points for Prisons.
Miscommunication there between Crispas, the setter, and of course Chris, the middle player. And Isaac Odongo, you're saying online, I pray my guys win. Of course, we know you're a KVC player, and we shall see how the game really goes and ends as well.
I think it's a good thing that he says he prays, because it means he knows how tough the Serie really is getting. It's no longer that easy to say now. That's a walkover.
Yeah, and you can see really that's a very good play from Crispas, setting up when you're there in the position 4, and you can really see he went so high, and since the center player was late, he was really able to look for that space on the middle of the court. But Solomon comes with a swing of his own, and that is going to tally us to 8 points apiece.
No side has so far shown that they want this game more, at least from the way they are playing.
Yeah.
It can still go anywhere. We are yet to see a team that shows that kind of aggressiveness and the hunger to win.
Yeah, I think this game is really going to drag us point per point, but not until one side, really, like you mentioned, is going to show us what they really want in this game. And you can see two teams are really flying with the rallies, and that's an attack error from Wafula for Team Prisons. As usual, Adiri is really going to be looking for where Crispus is blocking from, especially when Crispus is on front court, and that is exactly what he's really trying to do here. And you can see he's very easily able to pick up Solomon there, and who has an easy swing to the middle of the court and securing that point for his team.
Points for Team Kavc, 10 for Prisons. The game is still tight. No team has been able to go at least 3 points ahead of the other.
Yeah, it's going to really be very tight for both clubs. Of course, trying to drag themselves to see one of them has to really open the lead, and that was Ojema. He goes again, and off the hands of Rukundo and Bernard, he's able to secure, of course, that point for his team Prisons. And we are still tied up with the scores 11-11. Yeah, and you can see really Prisons is setting up their screen there to direct to someone in position 4, and of course you can see that is Mwenye in that position they are receiving, so they are directly going to go straight for the receive attacker in front court.
Well, the receive attacker in front court is actually not receiving, it's Rukundo.
It's Rukundo actually in that position.
They are still avoiding Ayo, who has come out to help before reception.
Yeah.
And really working for them. Finally, Prisons ahead by 2 points. And a timeout for Kavc.
Yeah, I think the coach has realized maybe something is not working out.
Yeah, it's much needed because Prisons has not led for 2 points.
Yeah.
So it was beginning to take over.
We haven't yet had that kind of morale from Prisons yet we know that is one of the teams that is really vibrant when it comes to terms of
you can
morale.
Feel the morale in the fans, but it is not in the players,
because
and
maybe
not
the
also
game
in Kavc. The game is still down.
Yeah.
The intensity is not there, but probably the results of the first set are going to really hype up these teams.
Yeah, and of course Katongole Stanley, you're saying today Team Prisons. Yeah, as usual, we shall wait until the final whistle. And Lalo, you're saying it's okay. Definitely, maybe she's trying to be neutral, and we shall wait and see how
It's very
the game
difficult
really
to
goes.
be neutral while watching a game. You have to have a side at some
You
point.
really have to side out. So Anne, come out clean and tell us which side you really belong to, because like Stanley, he has decided to have a side. Big swing, and of course you can really see that Crispus is enjoying this middle player in the names of Bernard, and of course that is a point lead cut by 1. 12-13 is the score, and just like that,
Well,
someone you
point is
wouldn't
back.
expect.
It's a gift from Ayo.
Yeah. Good play there by the setter Adiri. Free ball to KVC now. Crispus and sets up Ayo.
Who dumps the ball?
This is Hussein. Swings that ball really wide there.
Both teams seem to be relying so much on
That pipe ball,
backcourt
yeah.
in 3, but I've not seen it score for both of them.
Not really, no
It's not
clean
making
score.
those points.
There's
Don't
no
know,
clean
the side
score
of
for
KVC is not aggressive. It's Prisons, they're aggressive, but it's not really working out.
Now that is, of course, service error number 3 for Team KVC.
And number 2 for the center player.
Yes. And Lalo, you're saying, no, I'm not neutral. I'm a full-blooded KVC. Thank you very much. Now we know your side. You know where you belong. And
He's
so, of course,
supporting
is
while defending.
Katongole. Yeah.
We are not going to laugh.
And another center player in the
Step
side
ball
of
out.
Prisons goes and serves the ball out. Too many service errors from both sides so far. And we are going to see a substitution, of course, from KVC. Joel Endra is going to come in, I think, probably for Mukundo Smith in terms of service, maybe, and maybe the coach is thinking of defense as well. Now the question is, who's going to be in that opposite position?
Probably Ayo. I think I've seen they have been trying to bring him on to play pipe. Probably can play in. So you see the confusion?
Yeah, they really
He's
got
going there
themselves
anyway.
confused there.
But he's going there anyway.
Yeah, that is, of course, an attack error from Solo, the captain of Prisons there. Hit the ball and went together with the net as well. And now, again, we are level, 15-15. Yeah, and of course, you can see that was really a very tight ball. Of course, we want to really protect the players' safety. And you know what happened to Silva there, very unfortunate. But of course, even as players, we really need to be careful in terms of playing those tighter balls. Solomon, good swing off the hand.
Finally, after 2 attempts,
Yeah,
it's a big relief for him because the team was relying on him to make that point on Crispus.
yes, and you can really see there was a gap in the middle there. The blockers, Chris was really late and tried to save his setter there, but he was late. Wapula, very good swing from him there. And you can see the players really are starting to become very aggressive.
They have tested the hope, the sweetness of winning this set. You can see the morale is increasing now.
Yeah,
It's going to be a very enjoyable last part of the first set here.
yes,
Especially considering that for the first time they are 3 points ahead.
yeah. And of course, Apple of God's eye, you're saying, I pray KVC wins today and forever. I'm proudly Team KVC. So far, we have seen about 4 people rallying behind KVC. And of course, Prisons, when I look at the commentary section, they only have Prisons Volleyball Club.
And someone there who said
Someone
this
there who is
with
saying
Prisons is what?
today is Team Prisons. Katongole Stanley. Of course, thank you very much for standing with Prisons. And
There are others who are quiet, don't worry.
yeah, so we really want everyone to come out and comment where you're watching from and who you're supporting this very evening.
Ah,
Hussein,
finally,
yes,
the
successfully.
pipe that bites
He comes out big, and I think now the setter is really
has
going to
come at
start
the right
picking up.
moment, at the time when they really need it. 3 points ahead on 19 is a very good position to be in.
Wow. Prisons now starting to look really very strong for KVC. Now the point lead is open to 4, and you can really see that is a reception
you
error.
Can say why I was telling you why is on up and not on. It was because you can see the lack of aggressiveness on the team at the moment.
Yeah.
And it is something they need against a team like
And
Prisons.
you can see KVC has already made a double substitution. Eddie there, the young setter, is going to come in, of course, for Mwenyi, and Onapa is going to be in the reception position.
Okay.
Onapa is brought down by Solomon.
Fast touch and is brought down.
Yeah, Mulinde Adam is saying he's the 5th member of KVC. Maybe you forgot to mention there are 5. But of course, we recognize you, Mr. Mulinde Adam.
Very vibrant on X.
Yeah. Onapa goes again, and that's a free ball to Prisons.
Ball for Prisons.
Solomon! That is a
attempt to dodge the tall block of Onapa. Sees him attack that ball wide out.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to fix that ball.
He really wanted to dodge that
there
block.
In position 4, and went
really
so wide
out.
from him. Saying there, Ojema.
A deficit of 4 points for Team KVC. And at a very, very dying minute, because Prison is already in 20s.
Yeah. And this is a position where KVC really doesn't want to be in. That ball is retrieved, and it's going to be a free ball to Prisons. Adiri Hussein off the hands of Onapa and Bernard there, and that is a good score for Team Prisons, who are looking very, very clearly strong to take this first set here, but we don't know what can happen.
They really hyped up the game very, very, very fast.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that KVC didn't do that. They stayed in their normal routine, and you can see from yourself now the points.
Of course, that is Godi with that service error. Now, both center players, of course, have managed to error in service.
All center players
the
on
same.
all teams.
Both sides, all center players are really error there. Gwambale Alex, as usual, thank you for joining us every time we stream these games, and you're saying you're watching from the great mountains of the moon. Kasese, Prisons is taking it today. Of course, looking at the way things are in the first set, Prisons is comfortably going to really look good to win this set. And so you see Rukundo come back and Endra going off.
2 people receiving for Team KVC. Very many attacking options.
Yeah. Rukundo Smith with the swing there, but is brought back, and Ayo. Free ball again to Prisons.
Napa looking for that.
Really saying Ojema, but that ball is retrieved.
Very
out.
good cover.
And that ball is still in
Ball
the
has
play
been
though.
saved, yes.
Free ball again. That's not a good pick, of course, from the libero there. And that, wow.
The setter was not ready to cover that ball.
Yes.
And it looks done on the side of Prisons. A very easy set for Prisons.
Yeah.
No timeout on their side. They really got it easy from KVC.
Set point
this
for
first
Prisons,
set.
of course, there, and you can see Kundo Smith tries to swing, and the referee disagrees and says there's no touch on that ball. It really went so wide.
It ends 25-18 in favor of Prisons. Well, the quest for a victory tonight ends on the favor of Prisons in the first set.
Wait a minute. The referee had decided to reverse her decision and calls for a touch on the block there, and we are still in set number 1.
Let's wait and see if it reaps some benefits. Can KVC bring back this set? 6 points to go.
No, I don't know. I think it is close, really. Back set, they are not really looking nice, and free ball again is going to go the side of Prisons. Adiri going to look for Wafula, retrieved again by Kasuja. Onapa smart play from him, and that is a score for KVC, who have hit the 20-point mark.
And
the double substitution is going to be reversed now, of course, for KVC.
you'll feel for them because I think they would have wanted to keep Onapa on.
Yeah.
And at this particular moment, it's going to be difficult for them.
And now you can see
Because
Prisons.
they need that aggressiveness in front court. They had started having it.
Yeah. Prisons have now decided to call in for a timeout of their own and maybe try to calm down things and find a way of making that 1 point that they are really in need of to win this first set.
Yeah, you really need to make that point before KVC reach around 22 or 23 because it's going to be a difficult time for Prisons, especially pressure for the players who thought they had it already.
Yeah.
They're already on the line and they have been called back.
So Prisons are really looking at the first set just within their reach, but KVC is having other thoughts, and that's exactly substitution number 6 for team KVC. You can see the second ref signaling to the coach there. Nicholas today, of course, is the main coach for team KVC. Tricky service there. Musana. That was a casual ball from Kasuja there, and you can see Musana had no one to block him. He's really very comfortably going up alone and making that score for his team, and that is, of course, brings us to the end of set number 1, comfortably won by Prisons, of course, 25-22.
25-20 actually. 25-20.
Yeah.
That is the score, not 22.
25-20. So Eliab, I don't know what KVC has to do because they really started so casually, and
yeah, they started casually, but Prisons intensified it at the end of around 16 points there.
Yeah.
Which KVC didn't realize until it was around 3 points ahead, and they panicked, of course, but they couldn't catch up.
Yeah.
This is not a team you can underestimate, even if they are really stronger than them. And I think they have learned their lesson. KVC is going to start this with high intensity if you want to get something out of this team. Because
very well said, very well said. And of course, we are still here and we are still following each and everyone who is commenting online. And of course, don't forget, tomorrow more action returns, and of course shall be live here from NSAMBYA, of course the home of Sports Volleyball Club. And of course we shall be live again on the YouTube channel of the #1 broadcaster, Sports Volleyball Club Media. Of course, now the fans of KVC Online have a lot of work to do, because now I'm very sure Prison fans are going to come online and they will be, of course, taking on the commentary section as well. But we wait and see how the second set will unfold. Yeah, and of course teams are back for second set, and you can see already substitutions have been made on the side of KVC. Experience is coming on. Endra, you can see him starting there, and when he is off, Endra will be playing diagonal to Ayo, and of course we see Onapa and the other young setter Edmond, as they call him, also starting there. Prison so far no changes. Hussein is still with Solo receiving, Wafula opposite with Adiri, and of course Omusana there with Godi will be playing that middle position for Prisons. And second set, of course, Ayo is going to start on the service line, not Edmond the setter. We want to see how that strategy is going to work out for them.
Very experienced players, apart from the setting department and the middle.
Free ball to KVC. Edmond is going to go in the middle, and that's a score for Prisons. They have brought down Ayo. That's how we started the first set. Both setters want to really engage so much that backcourt attack from position 3, and KVC Ayo is really looking to be struggling there. You can see he's not really hitting that ball with comfort. He's trying to really place it maybe to a position there, but the blockers of Prisons are doing their job and they are able to bring it down. Napa off the hands of Hussein and Omusana there. We are going to really see a lot of balls now going to Onapa's position because Edmond has some quite of connection with him.
Well, yeah, there has been lack of aggressiveness on the side of the power attackers at the moment in KVC, and I think Onapa is one player who doesn't have that kind of thing in him. So clearly the setter will have to prefer him if he wants points.
Yeah. And Abalo Caroline, we are happy to have you live and you're following this game. You're really appreciating us for the commentary. And as usual, you're our loyal follower there. And good swing from Omusana. Seems like Chris there, the middle player of KVC, didn't expect that set to go to the middle there because he was really late to put his long hands there up. You know, he's a tall player. And Omusana being a short one should not really be having that kind of ease. And that ball is still in play. Edmond again looks for Napa. Whoa. And you can really see that is
excitement on the side of the fans and everywhere else.
The reaction from the fans.
And contrary to what we saw in the last set, you can see that the teams want the game. From the start of this set, they really want this set.
Yes. Prisons really looking to start the second set strong again. You can see they have already brought down Australia with a
you have seen the
block.
Prisons Volleyball Club YouTube saying this game is a do or die for them tonight.
Yeah, and you can see they are really saying it's now.
They are really showing it.
Napa, that ball is retrieved and still in play. On up again and is still brought down. And
it's really one player who doesn't give up, and you can see I think he's going to play off at some point. Yeah. He's really attacking that ball anyway, even if they are blocking him.
5-2, Prisons still vibrant, and the way they ended the first set is the same way they are really started the second set. The blocks are really working on their favor, and you can see the gap is already up to 3 points. Jimei Najimesi, you're saying let's go KVC. Of course, I know you, Jimei. You're really a good player, and of course the support of KVC. Yeah. Linde Adam, we are saying we are behind you, KVC. Let's go. Everyone is behind. Every club
said they are playing for them. I think this is the time, because Prisons doesn't look like it wants to back down.
And very good positioning by the libero Arnold. Oh my. That ball should not really be going to the ground.
It's a very painful point, especially considering the effort done by the libero.
Yeah. Can see no one is trying to play that ball. Three points, of course, separate now the two teams. KVC is trailing. And of course, off the hands there of Solo and Godi, KVC are back to within 2 points of Prison's lead.
And of course, it is from the only person who looks to be very aggressive in that team at the moment.
Yes.
Onapa.
Yeah, Endra, you know, he's a good server and he's here in the service box. Very good pick there from the libero. And Wafula brought down by Ayo and Chris. Diana, patience. You're saying Uncle Malos supports Prison's team, Maji. I don't know who Uncle Malos is. Maybe Uncle Malos has to say something.
He's on YouTube right now.
Uncle Malos has to say something as well.
And 7 points for Team Prisons. This is not what you would expect if I was a poll and people told prisons would be leading at this point in time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe this, but that's game. That's games for you.
Good pick from the libero Kasuja and smart play from the setter, but that ball is retrieved. Solomon, and that ball is on court. Wow.
That was an attempt to outsmart the prisons cover, but
they were so quick.
Didn't really work well for him.
And look at the positioning of Ayo there with that kind of.
I think we underestimate the good positioning of the opposite of prisons here.
Yeah.
That was good positioning. The ball really found him in the position.
Don Carmel Akampa, you're saying I'm just enjoying the game, not supporting any. Well, it's also good because with the love we have for volleyball, you may not have a side, but you can really enjoy the game and watch, and of course comment as well. Blocks are everywhere on the side of prisons, and you can see Ayo there having really a hard time going through that block.
9-5, and that whistle looks like one for a timeout.
Indeed. It's a timeout for Team KVC, who are trailing here 4 points now. Prisons have really come out strong in the second
by 5 points. The coaches and the players really baffled by what is happening at the time.
Yeah.
It was a defeat for the ladies in the first game, and not yet a good day for Team KVC today.
It's
not yet a good
quite
day.
Looking good for KVC here because they're already trailing a set down, and they're already trailing point-wise here in the second set as well. And they really need to make something work out here. And Odong Isaac, you're saying, come on guys, we know you're KVC, and they really need to hear your voice and how you feel right now when they are trailing as well.
You're not alone, the fans are telling them
Everyone
the same thing
really
here.
saying the same thing, and of course
same prize for prisons. The loudest fans here for prisons.
And you know they have fans which support from point number 1 of set number 1 up to the last point. Even if the team is losing, their fans are always loud and they cheer on, thinking maybe something can change.
It has been a really different vibe in the volleyball league this season, and you can see the fan base growing. Very passionate fans for all teams, even the teams that have not really been having fans. You can see those are prisons fans.
Yeah, they are really enjoying the game here. And of course, talking about fans,
no pressure for them tonight.
Other series, look at Serie B there, the fan base, especially from Tinda Volleyball Club, their fan base is really too big and loud as well.
Too big, no, too loud, yes.
And you can really see when they have a game, their fan base is really in place. And you can see Diana Patience, you're confirming Malos Air Force Volleyball Volleyball Club. I didn't know Uncle Malos is Air Force Volleyball Club. Okay. Maybe Deo Gracious will tell us later on. Maybe Malos is really Air Force Volleyball Club. And Deo, of course, confirms that indeed Malos is Air Force Volleyball Club.
And the timeout seems to be working for the team because the 4-point gap has been reduced to 2.
Yeah, and you can see the setter of prisons there was really trying to see how to put that ball in position 4 where the setter of
prisons fans reminding the players of the scoreboard they are not happy.
This game is going to be interesting.
Very interesting game, and the players have heard the cries of the fans. And well, the intensity is growing. KVC feeling the pressure.
Yeah,
prisons seem to be really comfortable in the lead again.
Mariam Naiga, I feel you. You're saying leave us. You know, Mariam is a very good player of Tinda Volleyball Club. She's really very vibrant, and of course we appreciate her always. She's online, she's following these games and commenting as well. And we are here for the good of the game, Mariam. Don't worry. We are here for one cause, and it's volleyball. Yeah, and of course Onapa goes so high, and the libero couldn't bring that ball into play. And again, Sain block, and that ball is going to be a score for KVC, who are now within 1 point from the 4-point lead that prisons had opened, and it's going to be game on in just a few seconds.
Game on, it's good they have come up before Good they have come up earlier, contrary to what they did last time, and it was really not possible for them to fight back.
Yes, and just
And
like
now,
that, we are level on scores. Godi with the swing there, but he goes wide. I think maybe he didn't contact that ball really
Prisons
very
have
well.
only made only 1 point since the timeout, and
We give credit to KVC for that timeout really,
Yeah.
because it's working for them. And again, Hussein retrieved the game by Wafula, and he's going to get that ball. Swing, Ayo, and that ball is on court. No one is trying to really cover.
Poor judgment from him. He could have covered it himself.
And
Could
for
have
the
covered it
first
himself.
time in the second set, KVC have led, and it's a timeout for Team Prisons.
Yeah, it's a good call from the coach. 6 points for KVC and 1 for Prisons since the timeout.
And that is
It
really,
is
really...
very obvious where the trend was going, and something that needs to change for them.
And those are very bad stats, of course, when you really fail to make a point and your opponent makes about 6 points without you sending any answer. It's really something that a coach really has to think about, and I think that's why he had decided to go for that timeout and maybe remind his players that we were leading by 4 points, and now the team which were leading has definitely taken over, and now they are leading. And of course, Mulinde Adam, you're saying our prayers are working 10 to 10. Yeah, we are all here and we pray. We pray every time every team is playing, and of course the fans should be really evident enough to see that Adam is really rallying this KVC side so much to pick up the pieces that Prisons is failing to fit into. Wafula, and that is of course an infringement called on him. He stepped on the line quite there, and you can see the players of Prisons are not happy with that call from the ref there, but you can see from the replay there that he really stepped on the line. Ojema.
Finally.
In its own court.
The most unlikely point. And let's see if it is one of many for Prisons. KVC looking to maintain this lead. They have fought for it, really, coming from 5 or 4 points behind.
And of course, very interesting comments coming in. Abdul Hadi is a setter of KCCA, and he says this season is called whatever you said would be used against you. And just like that.
Well. Good for the commentators, whatever we say. It
for
will
us
stay on YouTube.
And we are neutral. Whatever will be said here will be for the purposes of replay.
Prisons is here. They said I said do or die game for them tonight. Let's see if we shall use it against them.
Wambale Alex is saying which city does Air Force play? I believe that is Serie C, of course.
Very unfortunate. I sense violence there, but
interesting how both teams, of course, are getting to work on the blocks there, and you can see a few seconds ago Napa was brought down by a combination block from Musa Nade and Hussein Ojema, and now they have brought Hussein Ojema down. And just for confirmation purposes, Diana Patience, you're saying Serie C Group 2, and of course that is again another line infringement called on Wafula. KVC
is really doing it well, except stepping on that line.
On that line, yeah.
Needs to work on that.
Of course, Wambale Alex, confirmation again. Air Force, they are in Pool C2, of course, and they are in position number 7 now.
That's not a playoff position. They are not showing any signs of coming to Serie B.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what happens when second round comes through. But just for confirmation purposes, Alex, like we have told you, they are in Serie C. They are Group 2 and in 7th position. Yeah. KVC looking strong now, 2 points lead, and the game has
abrupt hold of the ball of the game because I think the balls are off.
Yes. So both teams now have time to
talk about the mistakes
and find a way.
This is a very much needed break for Prisons Volleyball Club because
true. They really
The
do.
trend is not good for them. You can sense the frustration on the fans who were actually very vibrant before.
Yeah.
Not cheering on, they are not actually complaining and blaming the players right now. And yeah, it's going to be, you can see some of them are coming on the bench. uh, and the hold is over. Teams have been called back on court. Let's see who is going to benefit from this. Technical timeout.
Yeah, and of course we return from that technical timeout, as we call it here. Two teams have now gotten a chance to discuss and maybe figure out how to correct their issues. And now we are going to see one of the young players in Ate come in for Prisons to replace Wafula, who has really had errors in line there, infringement called against him in that opposite position. But I think he has been doing well.
He's been well. He's been well in terms of cover, aggressiveness in front court.
Yeah.
Except for the 2 errors in back court there. And
very good play from Omusana. He just finds the space there. I think the ball was not in his comfortable zone, but well and good for him. He has scored a point for his team, Prisons now. And Prisons are going to go straight to Endra in that reception position.
Service.
Yes. Napa off the hands of the setter Adiri there, and it's a score, of course, for Kavc, who maintain their 2-point lead.
It's a very difficult time for them because I think this is the time when they were left service for team Kavc, and this is the time when the Prisons actually took over from them last set.
Yes.
So they have to be wary of what Prisons can do at this time.
The ball is still in play. Free ball now goes to the side of Prisons. Very well picked by the libero, and that ball is too tight and brought down by Endra is Hussein Ojema. Very good block from Endra there. Someone least expect to maybe make that kind of killer block, but he does the simplest of all and positions that block very well. Balo Carol, you're saying fans on the bench and you're really surprised to see, but anything can happen. Pressure is kicking in on both sides, and you can see already a service error again from the center player of Kavc, who happens to be none other than Bernard, the youngster there. Good play there from Hussein.
Good attempt to cover that ball by the libero.
George William Charles, you're looking for Malagala. Malagala is somewhere, I don't know where he is, but he's one of the loyal people who really follow these games online. And of course, whenever he's on the comment section there, you can feel him. You can feel his presence, and of course the vibrance there. Onapa, good pick from him. Innocent Ayo, who really has been struggling to attack balls in that position. Very good swing from Solomon, captain Prisons there, to find Onapa.
Well, the credit goes to the libero. That's a good set, especially from backcourt and the back set there.
Yeah,
that's a very good set from the libero.
And of course, most of the fans online are appreciating that block from Endra. Really don't expect him to do such a killer block, and smart play, but that's a net fault called on the setter there, Edmond.
Like I said, this is the time where Prisons does what it does best. And the coach has noticed.
I think
he has to remind the boys.
The boys are really trying
he has to remind the boys, this is the time, this is the time. They have to be careful.
Yeah, because it's at that exact point mark that Prisons really went ahead of Kavc there. And you can see coach of the day, Nicholas there, call out a timeout for his team and his troops to maybe regather and figure out what to do as we head to the business end of the second set.
Timeout is over for team KFC, but Prisons come now with the substitution. Ochabara comes on for the center player on service.
Yeah, and of course on the side of Prisons, he's called the hype man because he's always the loudest of them all and he doesn't let it go.
Let's see how loud he is with this service.
Napa easily comes and through the block, the ball goes and lands on court. Abdul Hadi, you had already mentioned about someone say that the season is called whatever you say shall be used against you, and you come back to respond to what we replied and you're saying it's not about the commentators only, it combines the players, fans, coaches plus the well-wishers.
We shall be careful.
Whatever we mentioned from here,
we are being held accountable.
We are really neutral based.
Well. A service error by Endra, who has been serving really well tonight. And it comes at a very critical time.
Emergency set there from
and
now you can really see
for 4 touches.
The players are trying to call for that 4-ball touch on the net.
You
the
can
morale
see
is starting to hit up.
The morale on both ends for Prisons, the fans and the players.
And I talked about this man Ochabal coming on, and you can see already the noise is hitting up.
He's really lighting up the court, clapping everywhere.
Yeah, and we are tally 18 points, of course, both teams. Ayo with that pick again on upper.
And discovered.
Brought down. Oh
my goodness.
That is an unexpected.
This is his second attempt.
Yes.
This is his second attempt to pass over the ball.
Yeah.
And one ended up in netted, and this one attacks the ball in the net. Very critical time for him to be doing such things, really.
Pressure times are really going to kick in now on the side of Kavc.
Because Kavc has a timeout they can utilize.
It's again that moment in the game that Prisons has decided to lead, and you can see already Coach Nicholas
has had enough.
He has really said no. This is enough. No room
for
error
substitution
anymore, and a double substitution is going to come.
And who comes on is Onapa. Surprisingly, who has been really aggressive for this team.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big miss for them. And I hope they know how to cope, because it's the only one who was really making up most of the points for them.
Yeah. And now Rukundo Smith is back, and Chris Pass, the setter, of course, for KVC, is also back. Like we started the game, apart from, of course, Endra there, who has stayed on after replacing Mwenyi in that reception role. Kasuja, the libero, retrieved Hussein, and that's the score.
Score for Team KVC.
Diana Patience, you're now going to quote Sheikh Zayed, and you're saying, he who does not know his past cannot make the best of his present and future, for it is from the past that we learn. Very well said. I don't know why you're quoting
in what context,
and what reference you're making, but we shall need clarity on that. And now Mwenyi is coming on.
Comes on to serve for Team KVC. It's a very much needed substitution, because there is a lot of loss of services on both ends.
Yeah.
And,
Obo is now being introduced to the game.
Replaces Geoffrey.
And you can see apparently Ochabal is receiving there in the delivery position. And good swing, and you can hear the noise from him.
The noise from the fans.
The clapping is really getting louder here. And the fans of Prisons, of course, they are rallying their team.
Because this is Well, they came to make a point to fight, and
Yeah.
it really looks good on their side because this is a really strong team, and they are doing well at the moment.
Yeah.
They really are doing
They're really
well.
putting KVC to a test here. And what do you expect? Kundo Smith, good swing and good score. Direct to the line there, and you can see the person, Solomon, who was covering that position, decided to just
really
put
really
his head
difficult.
and
Very
go down.
difficult for the coach because
Double sub.
the only two people who seem to be making points for this team cannot play together. Okay, accordingly, because they are both playing as
Double
opposite.
sub has already been reversed
Double
now.
substitution, Rukundo is out and Onapa is back on.
And of course, finally, Akampa Don Calmel has decided to give us his side. He has said, I'm praying for KVC. I have got a side now.
You really had to get a side.
You really had to get a side because either way, your heart will not allow you to relax. Free ball, Onapa, yes,
And
off the hands there of course, Obo and Hussein Ojema. Signaling to the second ref is the coach of Prisons is trying to let him know that they need a timeout. And there we go. Timeout for Team Prisons, who are trailing 2 points off KVC. 22-20 is the score as we head for that second timeout for Team Prisons.
22-20. Who could have expected this? Well, if you have been following the volleyball trend, you know anything can happen. Arion came by surprise and almost killed everyone in the league until Silva got that injury.
Yeah, that was very, very unfortunate. Of course, now the team has to pick up, and knowing that they have already come out short of victory following their two previous fixtures, they already had they lost a game to Nemo Stars, and last weekend also losing that game to KCCA. Now tomorrow they have Sporters, and of course now being a team which is really limping, they need to revive their team and maybe find someone they can really run to. But of course, we shall see how Elion comes up tomorrow and play.
It's good to see how they reorganize and come, especially the injury coming at a time when they have the hardest fixtures of the league. Very unfortunate, but so far not good for KVC because
Prisons is still biting them from behind, and you can see just a point separating these two.
1 point separates them.
We have seen a substitution already there.
Came with an aim of 3 points at least for a big club of its stature.
Yeah.
And they are on the verge of losing it. Should Prisons win this set?
Mulinde Adam, you're welcoming Akampa, who has finally accepted to take side with KVC, and you're saying he needs to look for someone to take him round. Emergency play, retrieved again, and the ball is going to go to Hussein. Swings and off the hands, and a net fall.
You can hear the noise even from here. It's not us making the noise. Prisons are level.
Well, of course, for clarity purposes, Abdul Hadi, I've seen about 2 people comment on the same. You're saying I'm on commentary with Coach Malik. I don't know if Eliam Agaba is speaking like Coach Malik, but people online.
Maybe he speaks like me.
This right here with me is Agaba Eliam. Is a player of Tigers Volleyball Club, of course, second team of Sporters. So you could really not think it's Coach Malik who was here earlier on with Shamira for that first game of the ladies category there. But it's all well. We shall be here together, of course, to bring you the game as it unfolds. Very good pick there from oh my. oh my.
Very difficult moment to do this.
No block. Maybe
the
it was
smile is there, but he's really hurt. He's really hurt by this point.
And so
means a lot.
And so are the fans. He had a very good takeoff.
Very good takeoff.
He was really very far from the line there.
Couldn't execute it really well. The energy was there. You can see the frustration. He really did well, and I like the fact that the players have not really made him feel like he has made a big mistake.
Yes.
He's going to try it again.
Yeah, and of course, set point it is for Kavc 24 and 22 for Prisons. Ayo on the service line. And again, Hussein is going to come off the hands of Onapa and Bernard. And first set point is saved by Team Prisons here for Kavc. And George Williams, George, you're saying someone tell Akampa he chose the wrong day to join Kavc. All right.
Definitely not the wrong day. That's why
the wrong day because
how this set ends.
This set really looks good on Kavc side because they have really managed to pick it from that lead that Prisons had opened.
Oh.
And
Ate makes up for that loss.
Yeah, and you can
now level.
Hear the screaming from the fans there. They are really not even thinking of the error he made the seconds ago. Now they are celebrating this point, and the second set point is saved again for Prisons, who are now level 24-24. It's game on.
Onapa with attack.
Yes, it comes with a big swing, and that is a score for Kavc. Set point again. Kavc have it.
Substitution for Team Kavc.
And Chris is coming back in that middle
and this
position.
means substitutes are over for Team Kavc.
Yeah, they have really quite made a lot, and I can assure you, these are 6 substitutions for them. On the service line, of course, is in
good reception.
Musana goes cleanly and lands on court. Can see the reaction.
Lack of effort from the setter there. I can see he's really not
the
moving.
coach of Kavc there.
Ayo moves from 6 to pick that ball, and there's really the reflex on the setter side. Not good effort there.
Very good play.
But meanwhile, it is record points, and it looks good on the side of Prisons, even from here.
Yeah, and of course
another point for Team Prisons.
Right.
Another point for Team Prisons.
26-25 is the score, and Prisons are now having a set point of their own, and they go direct to Endra. Onapa, good swing.
Makes that point, but now he is backcourt.
Yes, he goes backcourt now.
He is backcourt. A very big problem for Kavc. Of course, he's lethal in backcourt too, but it is a very big problem, especially on block.
Yeah, because now the setter
is not as good as him on that block.
We only have one tower there in the middle, and that is Chris. He decides to go for the jump service. Not quite a good pick from Hussein there, who does very bad in that emergency set, and Kavc are able to secure that point.
In a lead again.
And now we have switched again. In terms of lead, someone should be able
very, very intense game. Very tight game for both teams. And, well, the pressure increases and decreases on both sides, depending on points. Onapa with that jump service again.
Onapa goes again. Jump serves. Good pick from the libero. And too close again.
Oh.
And that is an off ball.
Ball on court, indeed.
It's too close to call.
Very smart from Kavc. Yeah. They attempted to outsmart the referee, but
at one point I really thought that
she really saw the ball well, and she didn't fall for that. 27-27. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
And of course, more comments coming in online and saying Aula Nakasaga. You're saying special hi to Musana and Ate. These are young players, of course, on that side of
cover from Team Prisons.
Pribo again, and Onapa with a swing again.
Oh.
Good score from him, and good score for Team Kavc, who are again leading. This is interesting to watch.
Very interesting.
Nathan Emong, you're saying which country is this player profile? Red shirt number 15. I believe he's talking about Onapa of Kavc. Yes, red shirt number 15. Abalo Caroline, Nathan, hello, greetings. We still quite, and again, big swing
by Ate. The youngster is really doing it well.
It's going to be big swings from the opposites because one opposite has done a big swing and another one is producing a good swing from the either end of the courts as well. 28-28. Interesting set.
Very tight game on both sides. Very tight game on both sides.
Adam Chikoko, you're saying what?
The point for team.
What does the
Prison.
pressure do? Adam, of course, the
Overreach
pressure can
on the side
decide.
of KVC.
The pressure can decide to increase or decrease.
For example, right now.
Right now, it is increasing.
KVC is feeling it. A substitute, very tactical one, especially
And of course,
considering the setter has been removed. They need that tall block
Yes.
in the mid.
and Ayo is on front court. Chris and the setter Onapa is still on back court there. Andra, good pick. Onapa, good swing off the hands.
Oh, that's a really nice try there. Really nice try there.
Yes,
But
because right now we are in the business end of the set, and every decision the setters make matters the most.
and
Now
he
Prisons
says,
have decided to left us
we look
out.
forward to seeing who is going to set that ball now.
Should be Solomon maybe,
Yeah,
and now we have
set that
just
ball.
two.
The coach
Receivers.
has decided to maintain his substitution and maintain that block there in front. He thinks it's going to
I
work.
don't know what the coach
It almost
is thinking.
did work. It almost did work. That was a good touch there.
Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking, leaving out his setter.
Well,
Good set,
it's not
and
bad.
that is casual. Good.
Good
Ball is
cover by
retrieved,
KVC.
and Onapa is going hard. Yeah, and that is a score. Yes. Interesting game. Very
Tall blocks, no
Okay.
problem for Napa.
Yes. Look at that swing for him.
30 points for Team KVC.
And you can see the reaction from the fans who are rallying KVC in this set here. They really celebrated that point from Onapa because from the
102.
hard attack he picked that ball and he was able to score.
Reception there. Yes. Oh,
got it,
yes.
got
Oh
it.
yes. Oh yes.
He's able to take the ball off the hands of the blockers of KVC.
You can hear the
And-
excitement, and of course,
And ladies and gentlemen, the
the
game is
gleam
still
on
on.
the faces of KVC
Set
fans.
number
of course,
2
also.
is still on, and it's 30.
Surprisingly, it's ups, but of course, you know why KVC fans are not happy.
Onapa. Yes, sir.
But it is
Good
Onapa who
score.
is keeping them in this game.
Yes.
Whether
he is
back
the,
court, whether front court,
he is
he's
the man.
really doing this.
He is
He's
the
the
man
man.
to run to, and now he's on front court.
the man and is in front.
And this is the time when I really
Very big advantage
Say,
for Team KVC.
KVC are on an advantageous side now. Onapa is on front court, and Edmond is on the service line as well. With a good service, he comes.
Reception
Solomon still sitting there. Hussein.
there. Oh.
They are still playing in the second set. My God. Diana, patience. You're saying pressure weakens the heart muscles.
Oh.
And
oh,
Vale Alex
oh.
is saying the pressure is increasing. Akampa, according to the good game of prisons, I am over. You're overthinking.
Well, I think you can see why the coach indeed refused to take that player out.
Yes.
The block is necessary.
Ayo, free ball.
Finally, it
Kevin.
bites.
And now, Ojema. And the
No
ball.
cover in six
Yes,
there.
back to the court.
Good block there by Onapa.
Yeah, we mentioned Onapa being on front court, and you can really see that was Ayo in that
Yeah,
position.
yeah.
Onapa decided to stay.
Onapa stayed there in four. With that tall player there, still you can see they are trying to neutralize Onapa.
Yes,
32-31.
very interesting set. I mentioned it earlier. It was really going to be interesting, and you can see Libero picks that ball solo. Ojema Hussein is brought down by Onapa this time round.
Finally,
And finally, KVC have gotten a set for themselves.
Onapa saves the day and keeps the hopes of KVC to go away with 3 points tonight.
Yes.
Both teams are still capable of achieving that. We have to wait and see whether the next sets are going to be as exciting as this one.
Yeah, but this has been really quite mentally and physically challenging for both teams. Looking at the substitutions they have made, and of course that critical decision the coach of Prisons took to retain his setup on the sidelines there and maintain Captain Solomon. to set, and you can really see 33 points, 31 in the second set, and KVC, of course, coming through to win that set. Very good play from both sides. And of course, keep your comments coming because the game is getting more interesting. The adrenaline is stepping up, and the game is really going to be more and more interesting in the coming sets. We are waiting to see what happens in set 3 and set 4. See you.
And welcome back to the third set. Still 1-1. Very intense game on both sides. KVC managed to steal that game away from Prisons, who looked really good in the second set and were really desperate to get that 1 point. And now it is up to both teams. Let's see who is able to get the first point tonight in this game by winning this set. Starts with a service from Team Prisons. And yes, introduce.
What is it? Put
First point for Team Prisons. Second point, Team Prisons. And I think the game is still like the way they've been starting. Really low game at the start, and then they get intense at towards the end of the game.
Yeah, and of course we are back for set number 3, and of course KVC has already started out strong. 4-2, 4-3. And a lot of you have already sent in your comments. I see
the substitution there from Team KVC. No, it's not a substitution.
Asizu Ronald, you're saying, how do you fail to block one man? And of course, you see also Marcelo Ayom. You're saying you're watching from South Sudan.
If that one man is good and it's Ayo, probably. Oh, Onapa, in this context, it's really hard to block that person.
Yeah. I think for KVC right now, they really have to give credit to Onapa, because he has come in and he has stepped up for Rukundo there, who has failed to perform for their side there, and you can see errors on the net now on the side of KVC. 4-5.
Still a tight game for both teams, and clearly very hard to predict.
Yeah, it's really very
hard
now
to predict. Onapa brought down
on court. He
seemed to have got the medicine for him.
With Godfrey there to bring him down.
It is 5-5.
Early game, early lead cut, and now we are 5-5. Adam, you're saying sky nail biting. Yeah, even us here, we are really biting our nails. We don't know where the game will end up going, or in whose favor. But of course, Marcelo Ayom is watching from South Sudan.
I don't know if this is a ditch, an attempt at a jab at Sky, because these guys are playing a relegation battle together.
Of course, Marcelo, we appreciate you, and of course, continue joining us always online, and encourage everyone to always tune in and watch the games as they happen here. Nathan, you're replying to Caro, and you're saying you're watching from UAE. Thank you very much, Nathan, there. And of course, we are always happy to have you joining us.
We are happy to give you the service also.
Yes.
Because this is something you've been missing also. And we're happy to be the ones that give you that service.
Bernard, good swing off the hands of Godi, and the ball is out of play. Score for Team KVC.
Really, the intensity has reduced a bit,
yes,
especially on the side of the fans.
Yeah,
I think they are simply waiting for the last points, because that is where pressure increases.
When you look at the sets which have just ended, from 15-point mark is when business starts and pressure kicks in, and when the fans are really able to come and maybe support their teams, and you can see
KVC says they didn't touch.
Napa. The ball is retrieved.
Referee
Ate is
doesn't
going to
buy
play the
it,
second time.
and Ate
And off the hands.
scores on the second attempt. Indeed.
So Prisons are still trailing here, and they're trying to kick in all their guns to see that they level in terms of scores with KVC. And that big swing from Ate has just brought them within 1 point of the lead that KVC had opened. And Onapa.
Good cover there by Prisons.
Ball is still in play. Free ball to KVC now. Kasuja. And Onapa again. Good score.
Well, that's Ayo.
Yeah, that's Ayo indeed. That's Ayo.
Well, I can understand the confusion because Ayo has not really been aggressive in this game.
Not really.
And,
And you can really see that the
He's
setter is
missed.
very comfortable putting that ball in position 2. So most of the times you really think it's Onapa in that position. Solomon, Captain Prisons, they are struggling to find space through the blocks of KVC. And now KVC has opened their lead to 3 points.
Which we have seen from the past experience that is hardly a range.
Yes.
Oh.
Not quite a good set from Madiri there, the setter of Prisons. And now the coach is forced to call a timeout to try and calm down things a bit on his side.
They were really losing it. It was a very big, very high trend for Prisons, the way they are taking the lead.
And of course, as we come back from that timeout, someone is reminding Adome that it's almost that time for Arsenal. The Premier League is back.
It's very funny. Manchester United fans are excited about the game. Arsenal fans are worried about the results. And well, the timeout works
Yeah, and of course,
not well for KVC. They lost that set.
has really been
That
struggling
service.
in this game. He's really having service errors since the onset on the first set, and now you can see just moments ago he has again erred there.
Good service there. And a point for Team KVC.
That's Endra. Of course, you know he's one of the wisest players when it comes to attacking that ball in position 4. With the experience he has, you can really see he's very, very brilliant in executing that
Yeah,
ball.
not really that aggressive, but he always finds a way to make that point.
And of course, Akampa still really looks undecided because he has again come out to say, I'm still thinking hard.
You remember when he made
About
the
the
choice
team.
about the team, it was the time when KVC looked like they could win the game.
Yes, and now he's
And
saying he's really thinking harder about the
I
change.
think now he has sat down and thought
The game
and
is
thought
really
and
nice.
thinks Prisons has a chance.
And Aula, you're saying, come on, my sweetheart, Prisons, we can make it.
It's a dump. And KVC have really paid for that dump now. They've really paid for that dump. Because it's
And-
now 10 points.
And online, you're saying, I guess it's too early for me to say hi to the gentleman with three Christian names, but I will still do all the same. And come out clean and let us know this gentleman. We never know.
Well, you can see who was commenting, and then we shall know who really has 3 names.
Yes,
We have our
error.
time here.
Service error from Prisons, from Captain Solomon. There, and now you can see
And,
the man, the hype man, Otabal.
The man who almost made us get that second set
is going to be
is
introduced
back.
now. This game man is straight away. He's
He's here
hyping.
to hype that
He's
game.
hyping his teammates because that is best what he can do. And right away, he collides with the libero there. Free ball to KVC now. Edmond goes up. Onapa off the hands of Hussein Ojema and Omusana. 4-point lead opened by KVC now. Really looking to be comfortable in this set. But of course,
now
happened to Prisons in the second set. KVC was able to chase down that 4-point lead and even won that set. Though it was really an interesting one for us to watch.
Ball is up.
Not really a good one, and a poor set, and that's
an error from the setter. Carried that ball.
Called on the setter. 5 points as we speak. Sison, when Mamanara, you're saying what's not happening?
Well,
as it stands,
what's
things
not
are
happening?
Really...
We don't know what is happening. KVC is leading by a very comfortable 5-point lead.
Yes. And I think that is really what is happening. The game is going really bad on the side of Prisons, and casually that ball should be played back.
Well, it lands on the court first, and it's now 4 points deficit.
Substitution
for Prisons.
in Prisons or ball is going to be introduced now for Godi.
Yeah, he was really aggressive,
yeah.
And I think they need that aggressiveness if they want the points.
Musana with the service goes
there
to Endra, and now Onapa swings, and that ball is really off. Apple of God's eye, you're saying I want to change sides at Anne Laloyo, and whatever you've told Apple of God's eye, please allow the man to change sides if he really wants to. But the game is a game. You may change your mind now, and what happens when the next set comes? Will you change again?
Some people are sore losers. Akampa has already proved that.
Yeah.
Now 16-12.
Chris there in the middle. Now Edmond, the setter, is really finding his attackers with ease.
I think Prisons are still serving and run. He has stabilized the reception for KVC, making it easy for Napa to make those points.
Yes.
The service is not biting. But so is the block of the KVC setter, because now it's now 3 points away.
Yes, and he is still on front court. Prisons really get this ball in that position where he's blocking from. It will really be a very interesting, and as usual,
swallowed that ball.
Mr. Experience does his part, and it's a score. Easy score, by the way. Now Bernard, youngster center player, is coming back for Team KVC, and out goes Kasuja, the libero. And Laloyo saying volleyball is happening and not happening, depending on which side. Prisons quite really struggling now in reception, and you can see the pressure is piling more and more on the receivers there. Hussein Ojema struggling with, of course, hype man Ochabal Remedios.
It's really safe to say KVC has taken this, because I don't see the fight in Prisons anymore.
It's not there. You can see
the fight in Prisons.
Really struggling reception as well. But still, we have to see this kind of swings from people like Hussein Ojema. And of course, Anne Laloyo has refused up of God's eye to change sides. She's saying you can't change sides even in your next life, my sister.
Well, let's see whether Prisons prompts people to change sides right now.
Again, Onapa swings and is brought down.
Increase the light.
Casual swing from Ayo. And of course, Ate is not able to retrieve that ball, and that's a score for KVC, 19 points, 15 as we speak.
Some distraction from the sun. Bear with us.
Yeah, from one opposite to another, Ate comes with the swing of his own. We are still in the 3-point gap between these two sides.
A gap that Prisons has shown they can take advantage of, given the opportunity.
And again, Prisons is going to keep going towards that position 5 where the receiver is. And Sabah is not able to bring down Ayo. And now KVC have hit the 20-point mark. And we are into the business end of the set.
Business time. And Prisons is in a deficit. They still have a debt to pay.
I talked about
very bad for business.
I talked about service errors, and you can see
from
that
Ayo
again.
The second one from him in this set.
You can't have such statistics, you know.
Yeah, very disappointing from him, especially at this time.
Especially in service, you can't. Why don't you give your team a chance? Retrieved.
Good set by Prisons.
Chabal.
Oh.
Musana again looks for Chabal. Brought down by Onapa.
Who is
and
brought
Bernard.
down by Onapa? KVC are not interested in letting any points go away, especially on this lead of 4 they have. Very difficult time for Team Prisons.
Now Bernard on the service line for Team KVC. He does well and picks up the libero. Adiri. Pipe and as well errors is Ojema saying for Team Prisons. KVC really looking very, very comfortable now to win this set number 3. And Adam Mulinde, you've really been rallying KVC from set number 1, and you're saying let's clap KVC, let's go KVC. And of course it's really helping. And casual cover, wrong placed, and of course flat-footed there from the center player Omusana there. Timeout for Team Prisons. They need it.
Noise
now.
Still coming from Prisons fans, but this time one's filled with frustration, especially having hyped their hopes up, making them believe they could do this, and it's really a disappointing set for them, considering the way they played in the first 2 sets.
Very, very disappointing. And of course, many of you are still with us, and you keeping on commenting. And of course, I can't wait to see what Akampa is going to say after this set.
Because he's surely going to be Team KVC.
He's really not decided up to this point.
He hates
and I wonder
losing,
why.
He hates losing. And
he's a man of winning.
Clearly, he will be on the winning side.
Apple of God's eye. You're saying when God says yes, I don't know who's going to complete that statement. But of course, nobody can say no.
Well.
Good service from Bernard. Again, Adiri. Ate. Retrieved by Endra.
Cover by Endra.
Back set. Onapa. Ate. Good swing. Through the side block of Onapa there, he was able to get that space. And that is a point for Prisons. $23 points for KVC and 18 for Prisons. KVC are just within 2 points away from winning this third set, and they will be leading 2 sets to just 1. That Prisons, of course, were able to win in that first set. And of course, you can see on the side of Prisons, Brian now has been introduced. Brian is a neutral player. Sometimes he plays as a setter as well. And here he is. He's definitely going to be setting. Set point for KVC.
Set point, Team KVC. Looks done and dusted this third set. And it could confirm the first point of the game tonight.
Yeah. Service error from the man who has really been a run-2 person for Team KVC on upper.
A jump service failed, and let's wait and see whether Prisons can make 5 points in a row to force this game.
Endra, not quite a good one from him.
Good set there.
Leo.
Oh.
And Prisons are still holding on to it, and they are just about
4
this
points for Prisons to make something out of this game.
2 set points already.
But they are on 0 margin of error.
We are at the 20-point mark for Prisons now, and 24 for KVC, who are having just a point they need to. And Onapa is going to swing
And
off the hands
it.
of Hussein, and that wraps up set number 3, which KVC has comfortably won 25-20.
A point already confirmed for Team KVC.
Yeah.
2 points left to play for. Wait to see whether KVC will put them in the bag or if it will be shared points tonight.
Julie, Chloe, you're saying let's go KVC, let's go. Very many fans really rallying KVC to win this game here, and you can really see from the comment section that most of them are really trying to see that their side comes out victorious. But of course, we can't write off Prisons for now because it's just 2-1. We don't know what can happen in the 4th set and the 5th set.
Well,
in case it comes.
As long as the teams are playing, there is always a chance for the team to win, and
yeah,
that is what we are going to look at. I expect a team where teams are going to be fighting, because this could be the last set for Team Prisons.
Indeed, and of course, if Prisons doesn't come out strong and try to win this 4th set, to be game down and to be 3 big points for KVC, and Prisons' quest for maximum points will still be in question. Let's wait and see what happens in set number 4.
Well, they are unable to access maximum points right now, but I think they'll be happy with a 2 and very disappointed with a 0, especially considering the way they played in the first 2 sets. So this indeed, like the Prisons Volleyball YouTube said, is a do or die game for them, and this is a do or die set for them if they want to achieve that set tonight.
Set number 4 is already underway, and already Prisons have scored their first point in this set, and of course no changes yet on of course the side of KVC, and the same team that started for Prisons is the same team that has started here, and you can see already Ayo, who has been struggling in that position of backcourt attack in position 3, is continuing to struggle. Service error number 1 for Madiri. Set up Prisons there.
You can hear the frustration from the fan asking him why. They know. They know what's coming. This could be the last set if they don't fight.
Bernard, good service from him. Gemma. Ate goes high and off the 3-man block is able to get that smallest space and finds Edmond, the setter there, flat-footed. And that's a score for Prisons. 3-1 as we speak. And of course, Okware Brian, you're saying Prisons, let's go. Mulinde Adam, prayers through the sky. Akampa. Akampa is here. He's saying, I made up my mind. I was on the right team from the start.
Well, let's wait and see how right you are, because Prisons has started this game on a very high note now.
Area Polo Ogwang, you're saying those who think Prisons will take this should get here for prayers. They should really gather for prayers.
Indeed. A yellow card for Team KVC
has already gone up. And of course, it's time for you to really come in clear and send in your predictions, because the game is really heated up. And of course, Prisons also need this set to share spoils with KVC, and KVC needs to win this set, of course, to clear and get away with 3 points at the end of it all. But of course, we are here together with my man Agaba Eliab to bring you the game until the last point. As usual, jump service from Unapa, and it's an error from him.
And I think these jump services were really consistent and biting in the first 2 sets, but
as per now,
has not been really good in the 3rd set, and I think it's the same trend in the 4th set so far.
Yeah. Good set, and of course, he's quite lucky to get away with that one, because to me, I really didn't think.
I think what has changed is the mindset also.
Yeah,
so that's a block out really.
And I really don't hope KVC is getting complacent, because this is where really most of the teams
really pressure, because
after getting the 2 sets they relax and be like,
no. That's not. I think you can see from the frustration, especially getting a yellow card at the start of the game. It clearly shows how much they want this. They know for a 3-point lead, by 3 points, they need to win this. And seemingly Prisons is at a better side in this set.
They really come out.
You don't say who is going to do it well.
They really come out strong, and you can see the lead is again open.
And they are pressing that service.
They are really pressing the service well. Musan again goes through Endra. Onapa, that ball is not quite, and no one is in position to play that ball. Wow.
A dump.
And Lagoyo, you're saying DRFs don't start any drama by awarding cards unnecessarily. By the time a referee maybe awards a card, there should be a reason. And looking at the way things are, Hajat is really right to award that card there, and you can see that's already a point for Prisons.
6 points for
who are keeping their 3-point lead so far. Early stages of the set, and we already have a lead of 3 points from Prisons there. Kasuja, Edmond, Ayo, good block there from the setter Diri.
Some complaints there, but
Onapa
game goes on, and
good swing from him and off the hands of Captain Solomon, and of course Godi they are trying to combine their blocks to bring him down. 2 points now reduced from the 3-point lead.
Well, the service.
Now Chris, of course, the tall man in the middle for KVC, is on the service line.
Want to see how it goes. Prisons can make this point because they are on the receiving end of this service.
And just like that, it's an error from him.
Makes it very easy for them. 2 service errors from Team KVC in the 4th set.
I don't know, Eliab, do you think this set is really going to be interesting like the second set we saw?
I think it is going to be, because the KVC is losing this, but they as well know this is a very difficult set, because they want 3 points from a team like Prisons.
Yeah.
If they want to be in playoffs position.
Good pick from the libero there, and Ate is going to have a swing and off the hands of Ayo.
A block out.
Good score for Prisons, who have just made it 4-point lead. Oumo Dixon, you're saying Team Prisons, we go. Kumi will well represented, of course. There you can see people from Kumi are watching, and they are really
Ate is on
Ate,
court and some boys
Ojema, of course Omusana, they're all there. Solomon, all from Kumi, and you can see people are really following and trying to support them in the game.
There's now 3 points gap between the teams. The setter is serving, which means Ayo and Onapa
are
on front court.
Exactly. And that is what we are talking about. The block combination of Onapa and Bernard, the youngster there, are easily able to bring down Ojema Hussein. And now the range is really getting reduced again to just 2 points.
A lot to think about from the setter for Prisons, because the blocks are really good. This is the best block for KVC.
And Edmond just awards himself an S, and of course for his team KVC there. Adam Chikoko, you're saying the screening rule ref. Well, yeah, we actually are able to see from our end here, and since you're communicating online and we are the only ones able to read this, the ref maybe could not be able to see, but we really need to see and confirm whether what you're saying is true.
The rule on screening based on whether you are able to obstruct the player or whether you're able to raise hands.
Yeah, man.
That needs to be clarified,
yeah,
and then
really needs to be clarified basically to all the teams. Because I remember at some point there was a call on Nemo Stars as well in regards to that screening rule.
Doesn't seem to specify whether it is about raising hands, simply about obstructing the player.
Yeah. And of course, back from that time out, we are just a point from the lead. Prisons have relaxed, and now Edmond, of course, who has just earned himself an S, has subtracted it.
He has really gifted it to Prisons this time.
Yeah.
Very generous offer. Prisons will be happy with it. Jeffrey is out to serve. Let's see if he's going to be able to do better than the KVC setup. Good service there.
Edmond finds Ayo.
And Onapa. Well, that's Onapa.
That's Onapa, really.
Yes.
Ate. The ball is retrieved again. And we're going to find Onapa. Free ball. Solomon.
Free ball.
Adiri.
Oh.
Onapa is going to come and swing. And the ball is still in play. And that is a casual giveaway of the score by Prisons there to KVC, who are now just within a point again from the lead that Prisons had opened here.
Ayo serving again. Very bad reputation with the service in this set.
And Ate, he attacks his ball and follows it. And ends up being called for
bad for him.
There.
The ball is covered and still up, which means he crossed.
9-9 is the score as we speak now. And just like that, in the fourth set,
after a 4-point lead, Prisons is now trading.
Yeah, and KVC now finally find the lead they have been looking for from the 4-point lead they've been chasing. Now it's just, I don't think that ball really crossed. Brian now is going to substitute Hussein Ojema. Previously, he was brought in the third set as a setter. Now he has come on as a receiver attacker.
Yeah, he has to stabilize that reception because they are really struggling with it.
Just like that, Innocent Ayo comes clean with an S service. And guess who? One of the principal receivers on Prison side, Captain Solomon, couldn't even judge. And that ball just goes and lands on court. And things are really getting out of hand for Prisons here. KAVC have now again started to open up their lead here. 13-9 is the score. Pribo, Kasuja, Edmond, Bernard, retrieved again, and Brian brought down by the youngster Bernard there. The lead is getting open here, and you can see really the fans are appreciating.
So far have made like 9 points. And the Prisons have only scored like 1 or 2 points.
1 point actually, 1 point.
1 or 2, yes.
And it happened even in the third set, I think.
Yeah.
And that is swing.
The attack is out.
Brian is not able to convert that set. And now 15 points to 9 as we speak. KAVC comfortably leading here. And up of both eyes.
A has to be emphasized because the comment section is on fire.
That is on fire. Adam, you guys are KAVC. Oh God.
A has to be emphasized.
KAVC.
But
every day we learn. Every day we learn. Omo, this one, you're saying this KAVC block is something else, just maybe Prisons to try and use the opposite to break. But the opposite they really want to break is the one who's crossing while attacking. I don't really think the setter wants to take that risk as we speak. Ria Paulo one. You're saying Prisons hopefully the player line still open. The prayer line, yeah. You're talking about prayers, of course.
Well, the prayer line is open, but I'm sure both teams prayed before coming on court. So
the better one, of course, will take the day. And 3-man block Bernard again for KVC here.
Very frustrating from the setter. Setter is really frustrated, and I think they'll be looking to change and see someone who can come in and set. Timeouts are done for the coach. They are reminding him here.
Good service from Ayo. Ate there. Kasuja.
He doesn't cross this time because
free ball again.
The ball is clearly still up. He learned his lesson.
Brought down. This side of KAVC really
KAVC 17.
16-9. 17-9 now as we speak. And KVC are 9. And you
Julie Crow is not happy with the opposite.
Julie Crow.
The only thing that saves Prisons right now is the service in the net. Hopefully they can start from there for the sake of their fans, because they really had energy.
Yeah.
At the start they had the best fan base here. And they think I think they have been let down, especially by the players.
Yeah. And you can see at the arena, of course, now the voices of Prison supporters have really gone down.
Good block by you there.
Yeah, that is of course.
And finally, the referee calls for crossing from Endra.
And of course, comments are really coming, and you're really happy with the way Bernard is playing, and you're really very proud of him. This young man has really stepped up this season.
Julie Crow predicts below 15. Well,
Akampa has decided to just maintain his neutral
Kavc is winning.
And he's saying, my current team is making it. We are winning this game. He's no longer undecided. He has just maintained his side of the club.
Julie Crow needs to stop predicting, because Prisons looks like a team that is now focused on catching up.
Yeah. Within just 6 points now, they lead KVC. But there's always that one man that Edmond will always run to in terms of such situations, and that is on Napa.
Who has not disappointed,
He
especially
has not
in terms
really
of
disappointed.
attack.
There is something really about these two players in the opposite role for this side of KAVC. Smith one day will come and play really good, and Onapa fails to play. And the same happens to Onapa. When he really shows up to play, Smith is not really that person you can rely on for the day.
Well,
And free ball now goes
good
to the
cover
side
there.
of KAVC. And Onapa is going to come again.
And dump that ball on his side.
I think his teammates should not be really happy with that.
Of course, they are
Because
not, but
set up his part, and just like that, he's not able to execute it. Asizu Ronald, you're saying the prison setter wants to go home. Oh, yeah. The game is not yet done, and he really has to push.
He really has to push, and he's doing well, I think, considering he's been there all along.
Yeah. Service error from Omusana, who has been doing well, of course, on the side of
This
Prison
time,
as
by
well.
this time, I feel for him, he needs to pace that ball because they need to catch up and you need to serve hard.
Very, very, very.
But the
Clear,
best block from
7 points.
KAVC is on.
Yeah, and that is where always the team gets to lead. But unfortunately, Edmond is there and he
And he
fails.
breaks through them. Breaks through them. Jury Crow predicts below 15,
Below
and
15. We are already at the 14-point mark.
well, anything can happen.
Yeah. And really has done a lot in terms of reception, and Prisons has kept on serving him, yet he's delivering.
Maybe he's unavoidable. He's making himself present on that court and finding that ball.
Yeah, and of course now Chris is going to give way to Mwenyi, who is coming on for service. And of course Adam Chikoko online, you're saying Akampa has joined KVC on the right day. And you're trying to respond to George Williams, of course, who I don't mentioned about him changing sides. And of course double substitution is going to come on the side of Prisons as well. Wafula, who has been out for about 2 sets, is going to come on together with Ochabal, the hype man. And now setting is going to be Brian.
Let's wait and see how this unfolds. It's not looking bad on the side of Prisons.
Easily retrieved there. Napa, very good score. Team KFBC are running their way to the victory end of the game, and of course if they win this set, we shall call it an evening and they will be walking away with maximum points.
It will be game over for them tonight, and very disappointing for Prisons, especially considering the way they played.
Yeah.
But
Ball is still in play, and
it's not yet done.
yes, it goes off court there for a score.
Chasing 7 points. Team Prisons.
Now, of course, the run 2-man has started to make errors in attack on Upper there. But of course, Anna Layo saying on Upper, we are not complaining, my brother. I think she's referring to that.
Yeah, the backcourt which failed. Yeah.
Failed to
No. I don't think
there.
there's anyone with the right to complain because he has really played.
He has done his part.
He has done everything for them.
Bernard, very good score from him. KFBC are just within 2 points of victory, and they will be really so happy with themselves after 2 weekends accumulating to about 9 points. That will be a very, very big statement for them. Area Paulo Ogwang, you're saying good people of Prisons, Bujingo is on the line. You're really referring to prayers. Adam Chikoko, you're saying Bobosa Brian, the only netball volleyball player.
And he seems to be able to play every position in volleyball.
He really fits
He will
there.
fit everywhere, whether center, whether power, whether setting. Very universal player.
Ayo, quite not very, very.
Prisons fighting very late in the game.
Yeah. And of course,
Very late in the game.
KAVC are looking at just 2 points to clinch victory in this game here.
But Prisons look more determined than KVC, and that should be a cause to worry,
Yes.
especially if they don't score in the next 3 services. Good attack by Ayo. It is safe to say done and dusted. Match point for team
KVC are just looking at one service and a defense, of course, for their side, and just like that, Ayo with the service and
19 points for Team Prisons.
Set point and match point number 1 saved by Prisons. And again, KVC have to dig again to find their way through to win this game. Apple of God's eye, you're saying KVC lied to their friends in the second set. And just like that, Endra Joel smartly outplays the defense of Prisons, and KVC, we can surely confirm, have gathered 3 points maximum in this fixture. And just like that, we have come to the end of the game. And of course, my man Agab earlier.
Yes.
The game has ended.
Very exciting
what
game.
What are your thoughts?
Very exciting game. Prisons will be disappointed, especially considering they started well.
Yeah.
They could have clinched the point, which would have been very important, especially in their battle of relegation with some clubs.
Yeah.
They are now lagging down, and they'll be looking forward to capitalizing on the performance, but they need to keep up, and they didn't do that.
Yeah, and of course, I want to say thank you to Eliab, my man, for joining me today on commentary, and thank you to everyone who has joined us online, from Maria Paulo Guang, Anne Laloyo, Adam, Apple of God's Eye, Asizu Ronald, George Williams, and everyone, of course, Oumo Dixon. And don't forget, tomorrow we return again with much more exciting fixtures, and of course it will be action as usual here at NSAMBYA, the home of Sports, the home of classic volleyball. Exciting fixtures coming your way from 9 a.m. early on. Ladies will be taking on in Deje, and of course that game will kick off at 9. UCU will be playing KCB Nkumba. That's one of the interesting games, of course, you don't need to miss. Early on, men will be taking up Sports. That game will be live at 2. Then the last game, of course, of the evening will be Deje University taking on